What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to do a very in-depth comparative analysis between SPY and NIO and talk about what SPY might end up doing over the next few weeks, over the next few days, and how this could affect NIO. I want to make this very clear what I believe will end up happening. I will talk about how this could affect NIO and how the entire market may have a big role in the performance we see in NIO. Now, before I break anything down, before I get into any more details, I gotta mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is any could be a free NIO share, a free Tesla share, or a mix of all of them. It's a limited time offer. Offer ends in just 9 days, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Looking at NIO, I know NIO was a little bit red on Friday, but you have to remember that there was a very bad piece of news for the EV sector that came out involving Tesla cutting their prices. And then after that, NIO did get a bit of a rally. It actually was down 12%, and then this thing pushed up, closing down 4%. So that's like a 16% move in just one day. And 8%, we actually pushed up 8% near the very last, like, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours? The last 6 hours, NIO was up 6%, I'm sorry, 8% to the upside after the big drop, and it looks like it's going to continue to push up. But I want to talk about what could happen after. Is NIO going to stop here and just start crashing if it does fill this gap, or is NIO going to continue popping to the upside? What is likely to happen? And here's my answer to that. It first depends on the news, okay? Whatever news headlines come out, it will affect NIO. If there's anything really big or major that happens, anything good, it will affect us. So I can't always predict that. That's why these predictions will not always be perfect. But what we could do is have some broad predictions that tend to be accurate, at least to a large extent, and they could actually help us out. And I believe if we do a comparative analysis between NIO and SPY, and you have to remember, SPY is heavily correlated with the QQQ right now. So with that said, if SPY continues to rally, there's a chance the QQQ will, and this could help NIO, right? There's a correlation between SPY and Apple, SPY and the QQQ, SPY and NIO, and that's why I wanted to talk about that in this video. If you don't believe me, look at them side by side. Look at this. December 28th, NIO comes down. Then we get a bit of a push up on the 29th before we continue to come down going into the 30th and to close the year basically. What did SPY do? 28th, we came down just like how NIO came down. And by the way, NIO's on the left side, SPY's on the right. Was this? NIO came down as SPY came down. SPY comes up, NIO came up. SPY sold off to end the year. NIO sold off to end the year. SPY got a nice pop, really nice pop right here before coming back down. NIO got a nice pop up here before coming right back down. SPY got another rally to the upside. NIO got another rally to the upside, right? SPY ended up selling off a bit. NIO sold off a bit, then bounced, and NIO was outperforming because of the deliveries that came out. NIO delivered over 40,000 cars in just Q4. Very impressive, in my opinion. And then finally, we have this sell-off from NIO that happened because of the news, right? But then NIO got a rally after that. What did SPY do? SPY came down and they got this big rally. See the correlation here. Do you guys see what I'm trying to say when I talk about how if SPY continues to rally, this could help NIO. It could give NIO an extra boost. But if SPY starts crashing down, maybe NIO pushes up to fill the gap, and then after that, NIO would likely crash down with SPY. That's why it is important to know what SPY is doing, and that's why I want to focus on it. On SPY, on my chart on the right, okay, you guys could see we have this bear flag like setup, and we could get a big rejection here. The final top may be very near, or we could break out of this to kind of like screw over the shorts, which is what the market makers want. And then something else could happen, right? A big crash could come later. What's going to happen to NIO if that were to happen? Let me paint this out on SPY now, kind of focus on this, and then help you guys out. So I drew out this giant kind of like Elliott wave trend that's being respected. I drew this out last week. And look at how this was respected. The two I had, uh, final top was very close to where the top was for this week. But here's the problem. I don't know if this is the final top or the final top will come later and be a little bit higher like this. I don't know right now. All right. And that's why I want to just go over some hypotheticals. And the second part of this is going to be tricky. So let me just try to redraw the Elliott waves. We basically formed this 1, 2, 3, all the way down here when we had the divergence 4 and 5. All right. I know it's a little hard to see. The numbers are overlapping, but we had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. The whole thing was like a giant 1. And what I could do is, let me see if I could find my indicator. What we could do is look at the MACD. Hopefully this is still here for me. Yeah, it's still there. And then we have this divergence that formed, right? We had this crazy, crazy divergence. And let me actually show you where the divergence was. I'm going to need one of these, and I can actually draw this out like right here, I believe. So yeah, the divergence is right here. Look at how the MACD was aligned relative to SPY. You guys could see this, right? So this suggested that we had a temporary bottom right here. And I was telling everyone, we might see some bullish price action after this. I was saying this. I actually, this became clear on the charts near the end of like December. That's when I started talking about this divergence. I even recorded the video last week. If you don't believe me, rewatch that video. I mentioned there's this divergence. We're likely going to see the market rally. I said that I was bullish for the week, and the market did rally. And what did this do? This helped NIO push up to 11. It came down a bit. It's trying to push up again. It's going to most likely continue pushing up, but where it goes from here is very unpredictable. And that's why I wanted to kind of break out some hypotheticals. So now we're in this state where, okay, the market's starting to rally. Are we about to get a breakout? Are we not? In this breakout, in this like last phase for the last few weeks, SPY has been respecting this pattern right here, this wedge-like pattern. It's like a bear flag-like pattern. We broke out of it. We came back down. We're still in it. I don't know if we're gonna come back down like this and then get a bounce and then like end up crashing off CPI or something. I don't know that. If that happens, NIO is gonna likely maybe fill this gap or get close to doing it, then come right back down and start crashing. That could happen, guys. So be very careful. But if SPY gets a breakout, this would be a major bullish catalyst for NIO. Here's why. Is it possible? Sure. On an Elliott wave count, there's no indication that we topped yet. There's no indication that 389 is the final top. We could go higher if the market continues to get those buyers. We could see the MACD opened up right here. It's similar to how it opened up here. It did start to slow down at the very end, so there's a chance that we do come right back down. But if we establish another higher low, and let me show you what I mean by that. So on this chart, okay, remember when I said 374 was the temporary bottom? I mentioned that. Look at this. We bounce, okay, higher low, 376. Oh, we push up, we come down. Where's the bottom now? 378 flat. We push up again. Where's the bottom now? 378.8 or something like that, a little bit higher. And then we push up. So are we going to establish a higher low and then bounce, or are we going to keep going? Right? It could be either way. And if we do establish another higher low, we could get another big bounce and we could get the final top a little bit later. It will depend on the news though. But what this chart is telling me is the MACD is suggesting we might slow down a bit. No guarantee that happens though. But it is kind of looking like it. I can't guarantee that. But there's also a possibility that if we establish a higher low, we could get another breakout again. Because now we know that if SPY comes down, it could break past 385, 386, 387, 388. We broke past those today. It could happen again. So there's a chance we get another rally back to 395. I would say between 390 and 400, somewhere there. I do believe it's possible. It's possible. And if that happens, okay, if that does end up happening, NIO over here, where my cursor is, I'm sorry I have like two screens here, but NIO has the potential to not just fill this gap, it could go even higher into the 11s. And we could see like 11.3, 11.6 to fill the gap up here. NIO could make a big move to the upside if SPY gets that rally. If SPY doesn't get the rally, if the final top happens to be like right around here, 390, and we fail after that, well, if we fail from the uh, bear flag, if we break below this trend line, we have to hold this at the very bottom. We have to. See where my cursor is? We have to hold this. If we break this, we are likely going to crash. 376 will fail. 374 will get retested. Break below that, and man, this thing is going to come crashing down pretty hard in a very fast period of time. That's why I have this chart drawn out. I personally believe it's likely going to happen over the next couple of weeks, but I just don't know where the top is. I don't know if we're going to stop at 390 or maybe go to 395. It's very hard to tell, guys. But I was right when I told you guys I saw the bullish divergence on the MACD and I expected a rally. I said it last week, and that is what happened. I just don't know where the final top will be. It's very like there are different ways to interpret the market. Also, because Jerome Powell speaks on Tuesday, I don't know what he's going to say exactly. We also have CPI coming out on Thursday. I don't know what that's going to do for sure. So it's very hard to predict exactly where we should top at. Somewhere between 390 to 400, in my opinion. And by 390, I don't mean exactly 390. We came very, very close to 390. We hit like 389 point something today. So I don't know if the top is in or if we're about to like establish the lower high, kind of like how we established a lower high like right here before we continue dropping before the next major crash. And I do still stand by what I said. I think it's still going to come over the next couple of weeks, but I think it might take a little bit longer than I initially suspected because of the high put premiums, the amount of put volume we were seeing. Because the market makers are like, okay, everyone's trying to short the markets. I don't want to pay all these people. So what's my plan? Let's keep the market up for some time so that the people that are shorting the market so hard, they get destroyed, they're screwed. I won't have to pay them off as much. They start closing the puts, they start pushing the market up. Maybe they push us up even more. Maybe we get a short squeeze like event. Then everyone's like, oh my God, the market's going to rally. Oh, the bear market's over. And then all of a sudden we dump and those people get destroyed, right? That's just a hypothetical situation. What does all this mean for NIO? Okay, once again, if SPY gets rejected off this trend line and kind of trades sideways here, NIO might pop to fill the gap, and then it might just like get rejected and start coming down with SPY coming down. If SPY gets the new rally and we break out of this zone, we break this like shop area that we've been in for quite a while, this bear flag, if we break out of it, we hold and we hit like 390, we hold above that, we start pushing, NIO could actually push to fill the gap and push even higher. We could see this thing hit the 11s, the high 11s. It could come, guys. That would be pretty awesome. Pretty cool to see. So I just wanted to put this out there, do some more in-depth technical analysis. I could clearly go into way more detail. I'm not trying to make this video like 30 minutes long. I'm sure most of you probably would not want to watch a video for that long. Uh, but I wanted to make this a little bit shorter than how long I could have made it. I just hope you guys have a great weekend because I believe that this did bring some value for a lot of you guys. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of the day. Remain calm, cool, and collected. NIO to the moon because the long-term future is still incredibly bright. And peace out.